A wise person once told me, dreams don't work unless you do.
We try so hard in our lives to fit in. We try to fit into certain groups, certain frats, certain sororities, among certain friends, yet the people we idolize are the ones that stand out. But when you're prepared, there is no fear. There is no fear of failure, because even if you've walked out of something and you feel like you failed at it, your preparation is so strong that you're gonna take that failure and turn it into the outcome you desire. And most people stop at failure, okay? We've all failed at things. I'm gonna continue to fail at stuff, right? It's the most powerful tool you can use, but it all depends on how you use it.
What would your future be like if you decided to want that which you desire so strongly that it prepares you past your fears, that you experience the fear, as the one book says, feel the fear and do it anyway?
Life is 10% what happens to you, is 90% what you do about it. No matter who you are, no matter where you are in life, you can take the lid off of your job. And if you're wondering if you still have the lid on in your life, here are some clues that's gonna let you know that the lid is still on. If you're not excited about waking up in the morning, if you're sitting around bored out of your mind, if you got time to do everything anybody asks you to do, you probably got the lid on. If when you tell your dreams to all your friends, it makes sense to them, you got your lid on, man. Your dreams should not make sense to everybody. You gotta say something that make people go, how you gonna do that? That's when you got the lid off. And if I were you, I'd do that. I'd take the lid off. Makes sense to me, don't it?
They're always gonna get ready to get set to get going. What we've gotta do is, boom, just like that, move into action.
Every time you remember your dream, you're removing some dirt. You're digging it back out. The true mark of a champion is, even though some dirt gets thrown on your dream, instead of letting it get buried, you keep shaking it off. You keep moving forward. You keep looking for a new opportunity. You wouldn't be having that opposition if you didn't have something great in you. If your dream wasn't alive and on track, right on schedule to come to pass, you wouldn't have so many things coming against you. That dream is still alive. You may have tried a year ago, 5 years ago, or 40 years ago. Didn't work out. Nobody was there to help you. Go back and try again. This is your time. This is your moment. Your destiny is calling out to you. Can I tell you, your dream is not dead. It's just not in season. Your time is coming. Promotion is coming. Good breaks are coming. Promises you've been standing on. Dreams you've been praying about. Lack is not your destiny. Constantly struggling, barely getting by is not the end of your story. These light afflictions are for a moment. The adversity is temporary. The glory is eternal. Lord, I believe this is my year to get healthy and whole. This is my year to meet the people of my dreams. This is my year to go further in my career, to step into a new level of my destiny. This is my year to accomplish dreams, to break free from this depression. This is my year to meet the right people. This is my year to get healthy and whole. This is your year to see double. This is your year for vindication, for restoration, for new beginnings. Now get your mind going in the right direction.
Here's the secret. The people that do the most with their lives, the people that seem the most self-assured, the ones that seem to embody confidence, the ones that seem to define confidence, they're the ones that had to face down the most fear. They simply didn't linger in it.
Don't hate your competitors. Respect your competitors. Learn from him.
I had a very important person in my life come to me and say, who's your hero? And I said, I don't know, I got to think about that. Give me a couple of weeks. I said, I thought about it. You know who it is? I said, it's me in 10 years. So I turned 25 10 years later. that same person comes to me and goes, "So you're a hero?" And I was like, "Not even close." He said, "Why?" I said, "Because my hero is me at 35. So you see, every day, every week, every month, and every year of my life, my hero is always 10 years away. I'm never going to be a hero. I'm not going to attain that. I know I'm not. And that's just fine with me because that keeps me with somebody to keep on chasing."
That's the thing. Success and failure are generally slow processes. Either slowly building things up or gradually tearing them down. And that's why I say you've got to pay attention. You have to watch. You have to watch every single second.
Choose love, and don't ever let fear turn you against your playful heart.
I believe in manifestation. I believe in putting a rocket of desire out into the universe, and you get it when you believe it. You get it when you believe you have it, and that's the key.
So we want to get really sensitized, acutely sensitized, sensory acuity, to whether what we're doing is working or not. And by the way, sensory acuity is really the measure of a person's intelligence. What I mean by that is, how do we measure intelligence? Intelligence is a measure of the number and quality of distinctions you have in a given situation.
You can handle this, you just haven't figured it out yet. It's all right, this is your training period. This is the tuition you have to pay for what you don't know. You can do this, other people have done it. It doesn't take an Einstein. Get you some people that can teach you some stuff that you don't know. Get you some people that have done it successfully and learn from them. Take some seminars, workshops, read some books on how to manage a business. Change the way you see yourself and begin to tend to the personal details. Understand that nobody's going to take care of your business better than you.
You will notice the most successful people in any field, they are usually the ones who have failed more than anybody else. You see the difference between a successful person and everyone else? It's not a lack of strength. It's not a lack of knowledge. It's a lack of will.
It's up to you. In a world where we're taught to look outside for answers, for a job that will make us happy, for money that will make us happy, the answer is within. We already have it. We already have the answer, but will we unleash it? Will we give it? Will we own it? Will we truly reinvent ourselves to become the people that we're capable of becoming?
The bow too tightly strung is easily broken, says one of the proverbs. Balance is a gorgeous thing. So be monomaniacal in your execution around your high-value targets, your HVTs, your mission plan, but also build in some rewards. And that's going to send a gorgeous message to your conscious and your subconscious mind that, hey, this daily practice of execution around my deliverables is a beautiful thing. And you create this thing called momentum. And the monk who sold his Ferrari, I went back and I saw this recently. I think there's a whole chapter on momentum. And you become like this. I love skiing. You start off small, but as you go down the slope, you pick up momentum. A lot of people say, Robin, where do I start? I want to start a new business. I want to become a better artist. I want to find the love of my life. I want to be a world-class creative. I want to multiply my financial life. Where do I start? You just start. You just start. There's great power in the start. And when you start, life starts supporting you.
Well, God wants us all to be courageous because he knows we'll face times in life and situations and circumstances that it takes more than just a desire, it takes courage. Many people operate on the basis of fear, on the basis of what other people think. We as believers should operate on the basis of courage. Courage to say no when we ought to say no. Courage to say yes when we should say yes. So what kind of courage do you have? Is yours sort of floating between depending on the situation? Or do you know the difference between right and wrong for your life? And you've made up your mind.
Hey everybody, it is May 30th. Friday, May 30th, live Q&A for Launch Ads, and we're glad you're here. Let me click start recording. and call this May 30 Launch Ads Live Q&A. Start recording. And I do not know what's happening with Facebook, but it has been saying ever since about 10 minutes ago, this video is starting, but I don't know that it actually started in Facebook. But we're here on Meetin.com, and Bill, Dedrick, Dwight, Jan, Yvonne, and Danny. Welcome, everybody. So we are going to answer as many questions as we can today about how to use launch ads for running your ads. We can look at your ads you're running. We can show how to create an ad. We can talk about issues you're having if you're trying to get things connected and it's not working. That's the whole point of the day is interaction. So I'm going to put myself here. I'm going to go into gallery view so I can see you guys. There, I can see Dedrick at least. Nobody else has their camera on, but that's all. It's all good. So if you have brought a question to Launch Ads Live, feel free to unmute. You can put it in the chat. I try to keep up with both the chat and but it's much easier if you just unmute and let's talk. Bill's just listening today. No camera, no problem. Bethany, welcome. So I think Greg is going to join us in a bit. No cam either for Dwight, for Bethany. All right, let's do this. You're on the call today. How many of you have already run ads using launch ads? Put a 1 in the chat if you have already run at least one ad. You've tried it. You've gotten at least one ad done. So we got 1 from Danny. Hey, Danny. Let's see what else we got here. Put a 1 in the chat if you have run ads. If you've not run any, put a 0 in the chat. That helps me to know what level we're at. All right, 0, 0, 0. Oh, cool. That's actually, I'm glad you're here. Especially this first hour is intended for newbies getting started. So I think with that in mind, just signed up yesterday. Well, absolutely. And you haven't run anything yet, Bill? Come on, man. Do you recommend a high ticket product for ads? Yeah, that's a great question, Jan. So again, that has less to do with launch ads and more to do with the principles of running ads. And I'm going to let Greg answer that question. Of course, you can run ads for high ticket items for sure. I think your philosophy of building up the ads and the plan might be a little bit different. But I see you also said, how would you define a high ticket? It's a great question also, because depending on who you are, as they say, one man's high ticket is another man's garbage, right? So it depends on your market. But I mean, high ticket, boy, I don't know what marketers would say is the definition of that. It certainly would be when you start at $9.97 and up, but maybe that's not even considered. I would think that would be considered not high ticket at least. But as I say, Greg's going to be on. He can answer that question for us. Let's do this. Bill signed up yesterday. Dwight, Dedrick, Bethany, and somebody else have not run any ads yet. So I'm going to go through a run through. I'm gonna pop into the main page, and I'm just going to walk through a little bit of a run through of what's there, how you connect, how you create an ad, and then we'll come back and I see we've got some specific questions from Vina and some others. But I know I talked about doing an overview last week and I didn't. So we're definitely going to start with that this week, and then we'll come back. Again, you can always unmute if you want to. Feel free to do that. But let's start with sharing screen, and we will go to Launch CRM. There we go. All right. So you should now be seeing my Launch Cart CRM, and you can see that you got 2 ads down here at the bottom. One was a previous ad that I did for my Groove support business, and the second one is supposed to be a video, although I'm interested that it's just showing the Facebook logo there. But let's do this. Let's go from the top. How did I get here? So inside of my LaunchCart CRM, this is the way most of you are going to get in. You're going to come in through the LaunchCart CRM, and we're going to go down here to this button that says Launch Ads. Let me zoom my window in here a bit. There we go. So we go down here to the left hand where it says launchads.ai. We click on it. And when you first come to that, I won't be able to show it because mine is already set up. But when you first when you first click on that button, you are going to have to put in your, I believe, your email address, your name, a couple of things to sort of get your account moving. But then once you do that, you're going to have this home page. And depending on what level you purchased, whether it was annual or monthly, and this is a demo account and I don't have it fully set up, you'll see a different number of options down here in the middle in this part right here of the different platforms that you can advertise on. If you don't see what you think you should be seeing, then you want to contact support and let them know that you expected to have. I think honestly the way it works is if you buy the monthly, you get this list. If you buy the annual, you get the full list of options. But I'm not positive every offer that we've put out there. So, but that's the home page. So before you advertise, you need to connect to your advertising platforms. So the first thing you would do for that is you would click on advertise. And I'm just going to do something real quick here also. All right. I'm just going to make sure you understand. I can't see the chat right now. So if you have a question or a comment to what I'm talking about specifically, go ahead and unmute and feel free to interrupt me. All right. Back at advertise. So we click on advertise and we go to connected accounts. And when you come in, you're going to see, I'm going to go ahead and just disconnect this. You're going to basically come in, and again, with this limited version that I have, it's only letting me connect to Meta. If you have the full version, you'll see Google and YouTube and TikTok and a bunch of other platforms. Well, let's just go through the process for Facebook. So, or Meta, should say. So we're going to click connect. And it's going to ask me to use the essentially, it's going to use your Facebook that you're logged into already to connect to. So we're going to click connect. It's going to come and say, mine says reconnect simply because I just disconnected it, but it's going to ask you if you want to connect to your Facebook account. You can select up here to use a different account. If you don't have the correct Facebook account logged in, you can drop this down and change which Facebook account you're using. I'm good to go. I'm going to click reconnect, which says, okay, you're connected now to Facebook. The second thing that it wants me to do is to select an ad account. So I'm going to go click select ad account. I'm going to use Fostering Our Future. It's one of the companies that I work with and I'm running ads for, and click accept. So any ad account that you have access to. So if you're running ads for other people, as an example, and they've given you access to their ads account, you'll see all of them here. As you can see that I have 5 showing up here. I'm choosing Fostering Our Future and accept. If you just have one ad account, that's the only one that will show up there. The next thing is I need to choose what page am I running ads for. So you can see right here, it says Facebook page not selected. So I'm going to go down and click on, oh, I noticed this today, the scroll, it's hiding the pages that are below it. And I thought it wasn't showing up. I had to just start typing and it brought it up. So the Fostering Our Future at Grace Landing is the page I'm going to use. And then it automatically connected to my Instagram page as well. And that's it. It is now connected. You can see the light turned green and it's connected. And if you're new to launch ads, get used to this. I like, after I've confirmed something like this, I prefer for user interface to be able to say save or close or something like that. A lot of times in launch ads, you're just going to go to the upper right and click the X. So it's, in my opinion, UI, I wish that they would fix that because it's not intuitive. You're not sure, am I exiting? Am I saving this? But I'm just telling you right now, you can go click this X safely now. Okay, so now I've connected my account and I can actually create an ad. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do is I'm now on the advertise button again. I'm going to go click on the Meta button right here. Or actually, let's do this. I'm going to go back as if we first logged in here. And let's start from this page instead. So what will you advertise today? Enter any text to create relevant ads in 40 plus languages. So I'm going to say, foster a future today for just $1 a day. So I'm going to run I'm running some ads to just get visibility and to get monthly donations to this nonprofit organization. So we can put in a little single line here. Obviously, that's not much detail. We could also select media, but what I'm going to encourage you to do is click on this little pencil that's over here on the bottom, or just to the bottom right of this text bar. And what we're going to do now is, here's my website. So I'm going to put my website in. And by the way, when you're just starting out, you can put your website in here and click generate, and Launch Ads AI will go read your website and pull in. There's a product service that was brought in from the website. It will bring in your brand name, your colors from your website, and in this case, I added a location to it specifically to set up our brand. So first thing is just the general. This is my website. This is my brand, and then you have an instructions area where you can tell AI how to write your ads. So this is the default. Use a conversational tone throughout the content, incorporate more technical language and jargon. I do not want that, right? I'm not trying to get technical. Make the writing style more persuasive and engaging. Again, all of this can be changed or edited, but this is what's going to instruct the AI as to how to write. And if you wanted to, you can go through plenty of apps, just ChatGPT, and have it read your website or read some of your articles and get your tone and your the way that you write, and you can get some more specifics to put in here. I'm going to leave it as it is. Let's see, you include more emotional language to contact with readers. I mean, this is just good copy right here. Omit exclamation marks and maintain a serious tone. That's probably fine. Use humor and lighthearted phrases where appropriate. I'm going to actually remove that, partially because I really don't like AI's humor. Favor concise sentences over longer. Yep. Incorporate storytelling. Good. Write this in a brand voice that's empowering, hopeful, and community focused. So that fits really well with what we're doing on this particular situation. And you can add a couple of these. Avoid hashtags, avoid words, specific words. You could say never use the word serious or whatever. All right. And so that is the second piece. We got 1, 2, and then 3, we can go to media, and you can upload media for your brand. And you can see that I've uploaded some images here just from the website. It found them on the website. You can also create some images here, but if I go to video, there should be a video. Yeah, this is a main video that talks about us. I'm actually running some ads right now, just starting to run ads to get people to play through this video to get likes and start building up for a social media campaign. Okay, that's it. We have created our brand context. So again, there's no confirm here. We're just going to click the X in the upper right. And now we're ready to actually create an ad. So these are some previous things that I've done. We have meta selected. We're going to go, you see, we have this filled out. We filled out our prompt over here. We're going to click generate. And now it's going to take that little simple sentence I made at the top, and it's going to go generate a first pass at an ad that I can post on Facebook. See, it's reading the website. AI is in the background understanding your business. Based on what it finds on that, it's generating the targeting. Now it's writing the ad copy, and please wait, your ads are generating. Cool new colors. I don't remember seeing those before. I don't usually do it from this angle, though. Ads are being generated. All right. So we've got creatives down here. So you can see it didn't actually create ads. What it's doing is it's creating templates. And we can take these ads, and I'm going to just go through the kinds. It created an image ad, a video ad, and a carousel ad. And I want to go look at this video ad because this is what I'm really trying to create right now. So we can click on it and see some different versions. I'm not sure what video it has. So let's go take a look at this, and we're going to use create ad and start from this version here. So now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of what actually is on the ad. So you can see, I don't know why it chose these odd videos, right? So I'm going to go, first of all, down. We got our title, Foster a Future Today for just $1 a day. And we could
Hey,
add
Kevin?
images. Yeah.
I'm here. So welcome everybody. Click on the play button in the video. That's the AI actually creating some videos for you.
This one right here.
Yep.
Oh, that's
So
interesting. So
they
it took my images and it made a video out of them.
correct. And sometimes it does some videos that are worth keeping and using, and most of the time it's like,
Yeah.
no, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
But it's
Okay.
trying. It's trying.
Good. Yeah. Okay, so that's great. Thank you for clarifying that. So I'm going to click on the actual where it says videos for ad here. And again, it's bringing me some examples I might want to use. First thing I'm going to do is just delete, because I actually have a video that's very specific for this ad. So I'm going to get rid of all of theirs, and I'm going to go to not suggested. I'm going to go to my media, and here's the video. This is a little 30-second intro video that we have for the ministry. So that's it. I'm just going to add this video for now. And now you can see the video there. It's a pretty good video. So this ad is unlike a lot of ads. What we're going to have is multiple versions of videos, and you can have multiple versions of images. Again, this ad is very specifically I just want to get this video out there for people to be watching and liking and clicking and sort of creating some traffic to the Facebook page. Because I joined this organization and they have done nothing with social media. So we're just launching. So let's go down and look at our options over here, what AI did for us. So we start with the primary text. Fostering our future, we're on a mission that matters. Join us in transforming the lives of children in need with just $1 a day. Training. Yep. This is all of this content. You saw what I plugged in up there, just the Foster a Future for $1 a day. Everything else is based on what it found on our website. And anytime you come in here with these primary texts, you can delete them if you don't want them. Click the X. You can change the tone to a different type of tone. You can walk through. You can just click and edit them, delete them, rewrite them. But this is always your starting point. That, again, it's going to give you a quick way to start getting some things out there. And let's see, how can your small contribution create a big change? At Fostering, $1 a day supports not just foster care, but entire families. I mean, this is good. I think it's good stuff. I'll probably come back to this and run it through some other processes that I have for ChatGPT to just get our message as clear as possible. But again, right now, I'm just starting to get some stuff out there. I'm going to leave that the way it is. Our headline. Okay, so over on the right, just for your awareness. So we got primary texts. That's up here at the top. So it's like your post if you're thinking about Facebook. So you can see that this is the at Fostering Our Future. That's the primary text at the top. And then we have headlines, which is what's showing up down here at the bottom. Transform lives, $1 a day, join Fostering Our Future and support families in need. Again, I'm going to think of some more compelling things than that, but this is how Launch Ads works. It sets it up for me. So I've got my primary texts, my headlines. Now I'm going to go to my call to action, and I could put donate now. In this case, because we're just launching this, I'm not putting donate now just because I think people are, in my thought, people are going to click more on learn more than they are on Donate Now. They may not, they're just hearing about us for the first time. They're probably not going to click Donate Now. So I'm going to say Learn More, which is essentially, I'll drop it down here, it's just going to take them to our main website. And again, the more we get targeted, we're going to send them directly to a very specific campaign page for raising funds. But for this general, trying to get people to the site, to the Facebook page, I'm just going to send them directly to the main Facebook page, which has a donate button directly on the top of it. Okay. If I'm moving too fast, stop me, but I'm just trying to run through it as kind of a real basic overview. Now, remember when it was reading and learning about my business and all of that, and it said generating your targeting. So this is the targeting that it gave to me, which actually is based on I already did some targeting earlier on an ad I actually launched minutes before I came live. But you can see that it's looking at social change, movement, nonprofits, politics and social issues. So it chose some social causes, which is probably pretty good. I'm not going to change it. I'm not sure who is giving us audio, but if you're not, okay, it went away. Somebody muted it, but we were hearing audio from somebody. Okay. I've got my social causes. My age is 18 to 65, all genders. I did choose a pretty local community in the Orlando area of Florida for locations. And let's see, we can just leave that as is. If we want to change the targeting, we can click edit, and it's going to give us options to add, remove, change the targeting however we want. I'm going to leave it as it is right there. You can see over here on the right, it tells me that I have a broad audience. It says if I spend $5 to $10 a day, I'm going to get 2 to 13 clicks, reach 380 to 666 people on a daily basis. Again, all of those numbers can change based on your targeting, based on your amount of spend, but this is just so you're getting ready. You have an idea of what Facebook thinks is going to happen with your ad. We already looked at the website. Let's check our budget. So we've got it set at $10 a day. I'm literally going to launch this at $5 a day and just put it out there and start seeing what happens. So one of the things I do like for people who are just starting to run ads and just learning how to run ads is this option of you get to learn without spending $1,000. $5 a day, I can run it for 2 weeks, and I don't know what that runs me. 20, 40, whatever it is, you do the math. Not a lot of money, and we can get some ideas of how either a video is going to perform, the ad is going to perform, our landing. We get a lot of detail just from that, and start to learn how to use launch ads. So for $5 a day, and then I can go down here from day one, from the moment I add this. Greg, you tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know if has this always been here, because I don't remember having this option, or maybe I just never clicked. I always thought we had to opt.
No, it's new in that from an advanced standpoint. Sometimes when we're running advanced strategies, we don't want the AI to optimize. We want to run various ads and ad sets. We want to be able to look at how they're performing, because we want to study and figure stuff out on our own.
Yeah.
And so you would toggle it. So it starts toggled off. And now I recommend for all newbies and all beginners, toggle it on. Don't worry about it, because it's going to do better than you. Really have to know what you're doing to want to not try to beat the AI, right?
Yeah. So I just noticed today that I had to toggle that on before I launch it. So I would just encourage you, if you're like me or you're like others that you're just starting out, you turn it on and let AI manage your ads for you.
Yeah.
All right.
And if you have ads that are already running and it wasn't toggled on, when you go to your optimization settings, there is a toggle switch to toggle it on. And there's actually 2 places to toggle it on. There's one to toggle it on for your ads, and there's one to toggle it on for your audience.
Yep.
Because that's the other thing too, is if you say, I'm going to go out throughout the whole United States, there's certain states that just aren't performing. And so at some point you want to say, okay, let's start taking ad spend away from Alabama, because I never get any clients from Alabama. And the AI will do that. It's wicked smart. So It's good to toggle that stuff on just and let it go. Especially like this. This is more like a brand ad. Like, and again, every single buddy, if you are a business owner, I don't care what you're doing. If you're not doing at least 1 or 2 $5 a day ads, you're pretending to be in business. This is what you need to be doing.
That's really good. Really good advice. So you give your campaign a name. This is actually the name of, I don't need to put this in here. Every ad I run for this is going to be Fostering Our Future at Grace Landing. So I don't need to run that. That if you had different websites and different businesses, you could put that there, but I'm just going to say, awareness, video, it says traffic right there. Well, it says video and traffic there. And I'm going to say, I would put my audience in here. I spelled that wrong. Kissimmee. And the names of the places, just to keep track of your ads. You don't have to change this at all, but it's helpful when you're going back and you're starting to run more and more ads. And that's it.
When you're running more and more campaigns, I very like creating a convention for that, for sure.
Yeah. And you know what, Greg, I've heard you say it before, but do you have like a basic convention? Like, do you have 3 columns that you always put in there?
Yeah, or sometimes I'll even do 4 or 5, depending on, like, I might do the location, like country. So sometimes if I'm doing, and I typically never do more than the big 5, which is United States, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and United Kingdom. So I'll put the big 5 if I'm doing that, or I'll put just USA, because sometimes I'm testing USA against the big 5. So I'll put my countries or where I'm advertising. I'll put my age range, because sometimes I want to dial in that avatar, and we're going to talk about this next. So when we kind of get into my next session after Kevin is done, I'm going to talk to you guys about your ideal customer profile and the benefits of really, so instead of saying 18 to 60, I'm going, okay, 30 to 50. So I might put my ages there, and then I might run another ad with and change that age range to 25 to 40 and just see what compares. Because again, there's a book that I'm reading for the 2nd or 3rd time called Atomic Habits. And Atomic Habits is all about getting a 1% increase, a 2% increase. And so that's what we want to try to do. So over and above what the AI is doing here, I'm taking it to a whole nother level and trying to, do campaigns and get a couple percentage points here and there.
Hey, Greg, a couple people are commenting on this. I don't know if it's your mic or if it's your connection, but we're getting, like, when you talk, there's a ton of static or garble in. I mean, I can tell what you're saying, but it's clearly there's something going on with your mic. I don't know if you want to.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's very, very static.
Did that help at all?
No. No.
Okay, let me.
Why don't you disconnect and reconnect and see if that helps?
Okay.
Yeah. In the meantime, I'm going to answer a question here, because I noticed Martine said, let's do this before we go run this. Where can I set a cap or time limit for my Facebook ad inside a launch cart? Okay, so I want to run it for 7 days. I don't want to keep spending beyond that. Great question. So here's one piece that we can do. When we get everything we just did would be the same, and we go down, we drop this down, and we click schedule, and I'm going to click schedule. And we can do 2 things here. Number 1, you can choose when you're going to start it, but we're just going to let it start today. We're going to leave that the way it is. Well, I guess we have to click it. Yeah. And then you can set an end date. So you said you wanted to run it for 7 days, which is, by the way, that's pretty suspect to run an ad for just 7 days. You barely have given Facebook time to get an algorithm going. You probably, I think, that's a bare minimum. For an overall time frame for your ad, I would think 2 weeks would be a better one, but Greg can answer that more. But let's just go say June 6th, and now we've set it so that it's only going to run for that period of time. So that's how you can set a period of time. I'm going to not set the end date, and then you would click launch campaign. Or if you're not ready, you get all the way through this and you're like, oh, I'm not exactly sure. You can drop this down and choose save a draft of your ad to launch at a later time. And now it's just going to save that. That's all ready to go as soon as you want to come back. You can see it. It's down here in the bottom in my draft. And if I click on recent ads, this is the one that I tried to launch right before we started. I haven't even gone to look. It usually takes an hour or more to get it approved and running. So That is.
Okay, I'm back. Is that audio better?
Yes, sir. It is better.
Cool. Hey, real quick with Martine, why do you only want to run 7 days?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And you're welcome to unmute yourself. I think you can unmute yourself,
Mm-hmm.
correct? Just come on and talk to us.
Oh,
hi there. I was just testing it because it's my very. Oh, hello.
Yeah, that's good. We can hear you.
Can you hear me? Oh, good.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just testing it really because I've never done an ad before, and I noticed on one of the Facebooks that it was saying, you know, you've got to build up a trust with Facebook before you start showing it. So let me just see what happens within 7 days. But I can do 14. It's not a problem if that's the best thing to do.
Yeah, there's some advanced thoughts with Facebook's tool set of when you give it a time frame to run ads, it may do some quirky things to spend your money. Right? So if my $20 a day budget and sometimes it works. I've never seen it work. So I never put a thing on it. If I want to turn my ads off, I make a note or put it on my calendar, turn the ads off. But I'm looking at my ad campaigns every day anyway. So it really kind of comes back to your objective. And I think in your case and everybody else's case that's new, a couple things. I mentioned this last time I was hopped on. If you're creating your brand new Facebook account for the first time, it's going to throttle your ability to run ads. Like I just did it for another client, and it was limiting me to $2 a day, $2 a day, then like $3 or $4 a day, and then $5 a day. And it took me like 3 or 4 weeks to get up to like $50 a day. It was incredible. So you're kind of limited there. And I want you to go into it as a newbie with your brand with this in mind. Let me create some ads that speak to my target audience, that give me brand recognition, and I'm not too concerned about the call to action as I am just let me get out there and get familiar with the platform and start getting my brand out there. So you're giving away wisdom, you're giving away tips, you're giving away free lead magnets, whatever that might be, and just do $5 a day and let it go. And then the idea is you're going to look at the click-through rates. You're going to look at your cost per clicks. And those are the two main metrics I want everyone to understand is your click-through rate and your cost per click. And like I did some ads the other day, and my cost per click was $5, $6, and I'm like, I let it run for a couple of days. I'm like, that I cannot make money at that cost per click. So I had to kill the ads. And I'm like, okay, let me go back and rechange something, and got it out there going. And then my cost per clicks got down to like a $2.20. That's still a little bit high for me. I'd like to be under. If the world were perfect, I want to be under $1 on a cost per click, and I want to be closer to 50-cent cost per click, and I want to be at that 2% click-through rate. And they're kind of correlate. The more your click-through rate, the cost per click should correlate. So I think you get your ads going, let them run, see what your stuff is, your metrics are, and start to understand the audience and the targeting. And you can test a $5 ad against your targeting and what AI suggests, and you confirm, or just go AI targeting. We're going to get away from targeting. Like for Facebook over the last 5 or 6 years, they've been getting rid of audiences and reducing our ability to target people because the AI is just better. They know the buyers. They know who's buying, they know who's clicking, they know who's searching, they know who's looking, they know who's making people ready to buy. So if your website and your ads, see here's how that works, by the way, just so you kind of understand. If my ad talks about coffee and Rescue Joe Coffee, and I have a Rescue Joe Coffee, and I have coffee, and also we donate money to Rescue Dogs. And then the web page I'm sending them to talks about coffee and rescue dogs. It's smart enough to know your product is about coffee and rescue dogs. So it's going to put your stuff in front of that audience. And if you say conversions, it's going to try to find people that are looking to buy coffee or that also like rescue dogs. It's that smart. And it's getting smarter every day. So it's the same thing. But if you say something in your ads, and I saw Kevin, coaching somebody weeks ago about this, and the landing page is not congruent with what the ads say, you're confusing not only the end user, you're confusing the technology. That makes sense.
Yeah. I get that.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, my website is the same as what I'm advertising. So I wasn't aware actually that you could click it and stop it yourself. So that's a great tip for me. So I will take off the deadline and just monitor it like you say. So that's a really good idea to do that. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and the other thing is you might want to kill it after 4 days going, okay, this is not working. I don't like this cost per clicks. And again, because you're new and you don't really know what that means, maybe you don't know anything. But again, I'll give you another example. If my cost per click is $5 or $6, but I'm selling a $10,000 program and that's bringing me a qualified lead, I'm okay with that. But if I'm selling a $20 or $30 t-shirt, no, I'm not okay with that. Right? So everything's got a context to it as far as what your objective is. And that's why I'm so glad you made it here, Martine, because these coaching calls, yeah, and I know everybody on here, I thank you so much for investing in our software. Thank you so much for becoming a customer. This is the value. Like, you can't get this anywhere. Not for what you guys paid for that tool. You can't get this wisdom. You can't. It's just, and it's the best skill set in the world you can learn.
It's good stuff. And on that note, let's do a couple of things. First of all, very early on, a bunch of you said that, you had not run any ads. So with the little overview and the content that Greg just gave us, I'm interested to know for you, what else would you like to see today as a newcomer to it? So let's make sure that we get a chance to do that. But I also want to go back while we're asking, and put it in the chat, unmute, let's talk. But let's see, there was a question back here. Here we go. I'm gonna let you handle this, Greg. Whoops, I clicked the wrong button. I meant to feature it. Feature. Do you recommend a high ticket product for ads? How much would you define a high ticket?
High ticket to me is, and you look, I recommend ads for everything.
Yes.
I recommend that you figure out how to give Facebook $1 and have Facebook give you $5 back.
Yep.
Or LinkedIn. I'm going to start doing LinkedIn ads because I'm a B2B play and there's businesses on LinkedIn. So yeah, your whole goal is to figure out, hey, I'm going to give this much money to you and you're getting me this much money more back. So you have to understand your margins, that kind of stuff. So absolutely. And then to me, you kind of have this idea of, if I'm selling on a webinar, you can maybe get $1,000, $2,000 on a webinar. If you're trying to get $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, I think you have to do that on a phone call, a sales presentation, or like a 3-hour masterclass that people pay for. So for instance, a lady I know named Eileen Wilder, she charges $97 to get on her masterclass on how to create and sell high ticket items to make $100,000 a day, or $100,000 on an event. And she gets you to pay $97. So now you qualified, and then she does a 3-hour masterclass that upsells her $10,000 event. Right? Mm-hmm. And there's no way she's going to sell a $10,000 event on a webinar, but a 3-hour masterclass she is. And then she's also increasing her results because she's really pre-qualifying you, going, hey, you got to spend $100 to get on this call. And then when people spend $100 to get on the call, they've qualified themselves, they're allocating the time, or they're flushing the $100 down the toilet, right? So it's like, because 3 hours is a long time, right? So ahead of time, you got to let people know this is a 3-hour masterclass. We're going to go through all this kind of stuff. And that's a great model. So there's all these different frameworks to marketing and targeting high ticket. And running ads is the lead gen. And again, going back to me, I'm running ads for webinars. Some of the people on this call maybe came from a webinar that I ran ads for, and I'm doing the most difficult thing, cold traffic to a webinar to a close, right? That's hard. Cold traffic to a lead magnet to a webinar to a close is much better. And I'm going to start teaching that and doing that as well. So I'm going to, dude, you have no idea what's going on in my brain, but I'm working on some stuff that I'm going to share with everybody, because again, I want you to be successful. I want you to do $1 million on my platform. Yeah. I want to be able to say, you came on, you did this, and you did $1 million on my platform with my tools and technology. Because that 1 or 2 testimonies, or 5 testimonies, or 100 testimonies I get that say that's going to drive tens of thousands of customers for me, because I'm going to use that testimony in my ads, right? So there's alternative motive here. Don't think that I'm doing some goodness in my heart. Like I'm trying to build my business too.
Absolutely.
Michael here. I have a question, if you don't mind.
Hey, I'll give you the mic in just a moment, Michael. We really don't mind. Thank you, and would love to get that question. I want to go back. Vina asked a couple of times in the chat, so let me get hers first. So Vina said, I have a list of 450 attorneys to create a custom audience that I'll use to create a 1% lookalike audience. Should I create the audience in the Facebook Ads Manager or here in Launch Ads AI? So I think the answer to your question is it's the same platform. It's just the user interface. When you create a lookalike audience in Launch Ads AI, you're actually creating it on Facebook. You're just using the Launch Ads user interface to do it. Am I right, Greg?
Yes, no, that's absolutely correct.
Yeah, so you're good either way. Hopefully that answers
Kevin,
that.
you please show me how to do that. I just don't know where to go to do it in here.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yep, let's do that. Let me do this. I'm trying to run to, oh, there we go. Thank you, Greg. And we will share screen. We're going to go to Window, Launch CRM.
I can't. Oh, there we go. Okay, thanks.
Yep. Yep. Okay. So when you are in your ads, so let's go back to the one that I just started and I didn't finish. Let's go to my draft ad. All right. And I'm going to edit this. And we're going to go down to targeting, edit. And right at the top, it says lookalike audience. Let's say create a lookalike audience. And this is, yeah, no, that's not what I'm trying to do.
You want to create a custom. She wants to create a custom audience first, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I have a.
So maybe you do have to do that.
Yeah, if you're going to upload, it looks like, because I haven't done that from here. If
Yeah.
you're going to upload the people, you got to create that custom audience. Because what happened when he just did that, go back there for your lookalikes, it was showing you your custom audiences and your pixels based on audience and website visitors and stuff. When you hit create, right?
Yeah.
So you have to go in there and you have to upload that audience and then that.
Well,
then
but
it'll show up here.
Couldn't she do this? Create a
Oh yeah, there you go.
This would create your target retargeting, which then you could, I think, by naming this one.
Yeah, you can upload the file there.
Yeah, upload it.
All the fields, and
choose
then
a file.
It's going to create that custom audience, and then from there you can create. It'll probably ask you to create a lookalike right after that.
Yeah. Then once you
quick question.
Yeah.
Maybe okay. So I have 450, but they're work emails, which isn't ideal for Facebook. So my understanding is I have to upload the 450 for Facebook to try to match profiles. So is that what this is for retargeting, or do I need to do it?
Yep.
Okay.
No, that's exactly that. And then you could even Google what other fields: first name, last name, business address, home. There's some because Facebook will try to match all those fields, and Facebook probably doesn't have their work email.
Yeah, I have a good amount. I have first name, last name, phone, email, and website URL.
Yeah,
that's what I was able to get, and so I'm just trying to navigate it. Do I go in Facebook to do the custom?
It doesn't matter where you do it from. You can try it both places, but either way, you're doing the same thing.
Okay, but so I go to retargeting. There's no option to create a custom audience. It's retargeting and uploading the CSV.
Yeah, it's just a different UI. It's giving it a different name of retargeting, but you're actually uploading a file and creating a custom audience.
Okay, perfect. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks. Good question. All right, Michael. Sorry about that. I wanted to make sure we got Vina's in.
Okay, I would love to share my screen.
Great. Let's see it.
Okay, this is I ran 3 ads for 7 days each. Just wanted to play around and see. So what the was I think this was Launchcat AI, one was Facebook AI, one was my targeting, and the goal was to drive them to Messenger to start having some interactions.
Yeah.
So I didn't like the interactions I was getting, so I decided to pause the ads and to send them straight to my websites. So it told me that I needed to change some things on my website. I need to get an FAQ and the rest. So so this is, I don't know what you think about these results. So far so good. I think this is Launchpad AI. This is Launchpad AI. So I think Launchpad AI had the best results. So I'm thinking of doing an ad with Launchpad AI straight to my website instead of Messenger. So I don't know what you think.
Yeah. So a couple things. Right now, if you look at the columns, right? So I would say the top ad, just looking at numbers, your CTR, you want to be higher. So your top one has the highest CTR, just looking at raw numbers. Your CPC, you want to be lower. So your bottom one has the best CPC.
Okay.
So it's sort of some combination of that, but go back from where you are. How did you get to this screen? Because I want to look at it from a different angle.
I just came into my optimization folder.
Let's go.
And real quick, while we're there, I want to say another thing about that.
Yep.
Because your click-through rate was 4.3 if you were to do a little bit of math, and your cost per click was $1.53. That campaign is outperforming the one where the cost per click or the click-through rate's 2.5 and 122, because you're only like 30 cents off on the cost per click, but you're 2 percentage points more on how many people are clicking. That's a big deal. 4.3% is that's gold, right? So then you try to want to study why are you getting 4%? What's in those ads or what's in that targeting that does that, and try to learn from that.
Okay.
But they're all good, right?
Okay. For this particular ad, I think I just used ChatGPT using Russell Brunson top 100 stuff or something like that. I just copied it and pasted it in my target these guys. And so but the impressions are low.
Yeah.
I don't know if that counts for anything.
Well, it does. Obviously it does. And the more impressions you get, those numbers are going to change.
Okay.
Because that's a very small, it's like, in order to get materially, what's the word? Like materially, the word's not coming to me. It's like statistically reliable, numbers, you should have 10,000 impressions.
Okay.
Because things can just change. Because I was running ads for Launch Ads webinar yesterday, and I'm watching my stuff like a hawk right now. I'm just trying to, because I want to make case studies and whatnot. And I almost called you up to show you this, Kevin, because yesterday between I was getting like 3 or 4 or 5 leads an hour, and then all of a sudden I was getting one every 1 to 3 minutes, and then after like an hour of that, it went back to I was getting one every hour and a half, 2 hours. I'm like, dang, what happened? And that's just Facebook, right? That's just like, what the heck?
Okay. So the best ad here is this one, 29.0 to 19 clicks. This is the best ad.
Yeah, that's the one that's Okay.
But in my attitude, all of those are good. Like anything above 2% is great, and anything below your industry benchmarks of $1.75 is great too on your cost per click. So all 3 of those campaigns look good.
And here's something that I think this may be what you were looking for, Greg, is this is the terminology, maybe not you were looking for, but Sue said there's not enough clicks to make this statistically significant.
Exactly.
That's where you can't really make any kind of a presumption out of this because it's such a low volume. But they're still performing well for what you have so far.
Okay. I have another question. I think someone shared the screen. He had some other columns here, like number of persons that watched the video above 30 seconds. I don't know how to add that columns to what I have here.
Yeah, so that's why I was asking how you got here. So this is go back up. This is go back to advertise. Go back to advertise.
Or click on analytics right there.
My bad. Middle. Yeah. Go down to the bottom.
Okay.
And then which one are we looking for here?
Yeah, I look. These are errors. I tried. I was making some mistakes, gave me some errors. But this, I put it. This is the optimization.
It's in a folder. Okay, yeah. Let's go take a look at that folder.
Okay, this is the folder. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, no, that's different. So, but wait, I don't think you're using the folder right. Are all these ads on Facebook or Instagram?
Facebook and Instagram. Optimization is on.
Yeah, yeah. So those folders are meant if you're having ads on TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, and then that's you drag them in that folder, and then it's going to optimize the ads based on the different platforms in the folder. So go back and then scroll to the top.
Okay.
Now see analytics right there in the top middle. Yeah, click there. Now click on media spin. Now over here is where you can customize columns. See in the bottom right?
Okay. Bottom right. Okay, customize columns. Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Okay. So
yeah, that was so for everybody again, just to clarify, just so it's not confusing too much, but the view that we were looking at for Michael earlier was a folder view, which is like Greg was saying, is the I would say an advanced way
super
of
advanced.
super advanced to running over multiple platforms and having the AI manage what's spending on which platforms. That's well beyond what most people need. If you just want, if you want to look at the ad and look at its statistics, this is where you would go. So if you exit out of here, Michael, just click the X, and scroll down. Oh, they're all in the other folder though.
They're all in the folder. Okay.
Wonder if you should pull them back out of there.
I don't know.
Because they should be showing up here. Interesting. Go. Can you go take them out of that folder?
Okay.
But it's
okay. What do I do? Go back to.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Go to advertise.
Okay, advertise. Okay.
And then
this is the folder.
Yeah. And then let's see here. Set your target auto.
No, this doesn't work. I know when I click on it, it doesn't. It just keeps on hanging like this. So,
interesting.
Home. Yeah, sorry, advertise. Yeah.
What happens when you click on the three dots? Edit?
I used to change the name.
Oh, that's just the name. Yeah, I haven't even used those folders yet because I don't. I'll let the AI get a little bit better.
Well, yeah, go to the bottom of this.
This is the ad.
Right.
Yeah, but the question is how do you get them out of the folder?
Right.
Like, can you get rid
Go
of
down
the
to the
folder?
bottom there and click on the pencil on one of those. See if we can change it from there. I mean, that's usually for editing the ad, but.
And Sue, I see your question about why are my comments posting as replies to other people's comments. What do you mean? You mean in the chat? I don't know what you mean by that, Sue.
Okay. So next time, okay, I want to run based on what I want to run. So it's that optimization is only when I'm outside Facebook or Meta, right?
Yeah, you don't need to use the folders. Just forget about the folders.
Okay. 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 All right. Okay. So last question. I don't know if you could have any comments on my website. If you have any comments on this, anything I need to add here.
Hey, let me do this. Martine said in each one in the folder, there's an edit.
Okay.
Let's go back to that. Let's go back to that and see if we can click that. I'm just trying to see if we can get it moved out of that.
Sorry, what's it? Sorry.
Go back to your folder where you were initially showing us. Yeah.
Yeah, this is it. Okay.
Okay, so scroll down, and she said there was an edit on
edit.
Not on that one. Go up above.
Okay.
Right there. Oh, that's set your target. There's a pencil there for set your target. Scroll down to the list of the ads right there.
Okay. Yeah.
You see there's an edit there, but that's for, I think that, I don't know.
That's your target. That sets your target.
Yeah.
And you know what it might be doing? It might reallocate budget from one campaign to another.
Yeah, I think that's what it's doing.
These coders that code this stuff, they're wicked smart, way smarter than me. So I don't even play with it until I understand it.
Okay. So I'll make a note of that, and my next ad I won't. I'll optimize it from the ad, not from the folder.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. The first one I was just testing, playing
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So,
good job, man. Good job
okay,
for
yeah,
taking action and making it happen.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if you have any comments on my website. I noticed from the engagement I was getting from the ads, I needed to add an FAQ, which I did. So I want to rerun the ad again. To just, I don't know if you have any comments, anything.
I don't know what your website is. I don't think we've seen your website.
Yeah, this is it. I'm just trying to generate an email list.
Oh, if you're trying to show it to us, we're only seeing your. We're not seeing your website.
Okay, you're not seeing my website.
We're just seeing your. Yeah, we're just seeing your launch.
Okay, let me share my.
You probably have to stop, or I don't know if it lets you change it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is my website. So I'm just. Do you see my website now? Yeah.
It's coming. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm
Discover
just
7 essential tips for smarter, sustainable income. I definitely want 7 essential tips. All right.
So I'm just trying to generate an email list. So, so based on the ads I ran first, there were certain questions. So I needed to work on the website again, add an FAQ to just certain engagement I was getting. So I decided to add that. So I'm now going to run the ads again. The Donchka gave me the feedback from what I gave me good feedback. So I just don't know if there's anything I can add again to.
And from there, it's all about your conversion, your conversion for a lead, and make sure your pixel's installed, and then you start getting your cost per lead, and you start to understand what your cost per lead is. And then with Facebook and something like this is a long tail game, right? Because once you get 100 of those conversion pixels fired for this, then Facebook can really kick in their algorithm to find you the right people.
Okay.
But you need to get 100. That's the magic number.
100 clicks.
No, 100 conversions.
100 conversions. Wow. That's okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
To someone else. Yeah. Bye.
Yeah. All right, good. Let's see here. Any questions we missed? I think I'm about up on the first hour, Greg. We might switch into your full-on advanced, but let's see if there are any other questions. How long should you do an A/B split test?
Forever, as long as it keeps it until, again, going back to what Sue said earlier about statistically relevant. It's like once it's statistically relevant and one's kind of beat out another one, then you got to kill the bad one and then go start another test.
Yep.
That makes sense.
How would you use this for marketing a membership site? How do you target niche markets? That's probably something that you can.
Yeah, I can talk about that.
That's more like, the principles behind it as opposed to using the software.
Yeah, that's like marketing strategies, which I am going to go over a lot of that today. So,
all right. So here's the deal, guys. We're going to wrap up the newbie session. And by the way, thanks for everybody who asked a question and everybody who, thank you, Michael, for sharing your screen, showing us what you're doing. Anytime, the rest of you that are coming, when you start running ads, anytime you can come and put your stuff up on the screen, let's look at your statistics. Let's see what's happening. It's so helpful for other people. And we love to see you taking action and making things move. So having said that, Greg, do you want me to stop the recording and restart it, stop streaming and restart it, or just let it go?
I think we can do the streaming, but let's do the recording.
Stop it and start it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do that for you, and you can just take over.
Okay. Go ahead and stop it, and then I'll start it because I'm going to so I'm trying to do some of the stuff that we can use for training as well. So,
yep.
Yeah.
So
thanks,
recording
Kevin.
name, May, this is May 30.
Advanced. Yeah. Name this leads on demand. Leads
30.
on demand, number 1.
Number 1. All right, leads on demand 1. All right, here we go. Start recording. There you go.
All right, hey, welcome everybody. Greg Ryder coming at you today as part of our launch ads training. What I want to do is I want to kind of come back to some basics for a second, and I want everyone to think about. We all want leads. We all want leads. As a matter of fact, put a yes in the box if you want more leads, right? Get some engagement going. We all want leads that generate sales. So in order to really optimize everything we're doing, we want to keep in mind this idea of I'm listening to the book for the second or third time, Atomic Habits, and it's about habitual, split testing, habitual looking at your numbers, and if you can't track it, you can't optimize it, right? So we really want to kind of get that mindset of optimization. And as good as launch ads is, and how, look, you can be a beginner, you can start, you can go, and it can get you results. We've seen it over and over again, but we've also seen, honestly, we've seen it when it doesn't get results, right? So, and if you want to continue to get better results, let's get your pen and paper out. I'm going to give you guys some philosophy and some ideology or whatever we want to call it, and then you can take this, you can go use some ChatGPT stuff, and then at the end of this, I'm going to let people know that if you are interested in having me do this for you, I'm willing to talk to you about that. Because I'm doing stuff that takes things to a whole other level, because I'm really serious about my business, and I want you to be serious about your business. But let's talk about the core principle for just a second. A lot of people don't understand one of the core principles is what we call the Goldilocks avatar, right? And speaking to the masses. So a lot of people go, I want to just promote to, well, I sell coffee. I want to sell to coffee lovers. Okay, that's speaking to the masses. But if I sell coffee and I also donate money to rescue dogs, now I sell to coffee lovers who like rescue dogs, right? So now I've kind of given me a niche that I can kind of run my lane in. So you want to be able to figure out, the challenges and frustrations of your ideal avatar and what problem you're solving for your ideal avatar. We want to get away from the spray and pray mentality. We want to speak to the ideal customer, and we want to identify that 3 to 6%. And what we teach, what I've been taught is there's this what we call, I used to call when I taught marketing the buying spectrum. And I say, okay, on this side of it and on this side of it, there's a line in between in the buying spectrum. And here they're not ready to buy, and here they're ready to buy. And actually it's reversed in my world. It's like, and at any given time, statistics have said that only 3% to 6% of your ideal customers ready to buy at the point when you get them to understand who you are. Okay. So we want to keep that in mind. And so we want to have a dual strategy. And the dual strategy is I want to give the information and attract the people that are ready to buy now, because I want to generate that revenue, because I'm in business. But I also want to keep the ability to get them on my list, the lead magnet concept, where I can nurture them, bring them along, and then bring them through this buying ascension ladder to where they're going to buy at some point down the road when they're more ready, more comfortable. Does that make sense to everybody, right? So that's a pretty simple core principle that I want you guys to understand. So you guys get that, right? And so in doing that, one of the first things we want to do is we want to figure out who our ideal avatar is. And I've done this training before, and I could show it to you. Actually, let me just do it real quick. I'm going to show you what you could do. And I actually have tools and technology that takes it to a whole nother level. And you guys can see my screen. This is a mind map of a process that I'm going through, and I take my clients through that, as far as dialing in everything to where I'm going to set up a system that within a month to 2 months, we're going to be getting 1,000 leads a month, right? But if I just go over here to ChatGPT, and I got my bookmarks of 1 million bookmarks, and I go to ChatGPT, and then I have invested in a tool called Whisper that allows me to click this little button and talk. So I'm going to talk into ChatGPT right now. So just hold on. Testing 1, 2. Okay, so I've got a brand that I've created called Rescue Joe. And Rescue Joe is a coffee brand, but I'm also a dog lover. And I'm a rescue dog lover, and I've had rescue dogs for the last 30 years of my life. So we're going to sell our coffee, and we're going to donate money to rescue dogs. So it's going to be for coffee fanatics who love coffee, but also love rescue dogs. And that's what my brand's all about. But it's a new brand, and I need to figure out who is my ideal customer. Can you please help me come up with who my ideal customer is? Okay, so I just talked that into ChatGPT because I don't like to type. I'm not a good typist, and I'm going to hit go. Okay, and ChatGPT is going to go. It's going to do a pretty decent job of giving me some stuff. Absolutely, Greg. Your avatar is 30 to 60. Gender 65% male, 30 or female, 35% male. I didn't know that. Location, primarily US based. Small towns, strong pet adoption and coffee cultures. Didn't know that. Income, 50 to 150 grand. Marital status, married or single. No, not different there. Psychographics, the values, the comparisons, giving back, love for animals, socially conscious. So do you see what I just did? In a matter of seconds, I now have some targeting ideas that I can use this information in my words and in what I'm doing, right? So, and rather than go through and read this line by line by line, you guys could do this for your stuff. And then I might come in here and I could say, and some of the stuff is not really applicable for like e-commerce and stuff, but let's just try something. Let's see what it does. So thank you for that. That was a great profile for helping me to identify my ideal customer profile. I'm wondering what fears and frustrations they may have that I could use in my advertising and my social media posts that would help attract my ideal customer to my brand and to my website. Okay, so I'm talking to it as it's my assistant, because guess what? It is my assistant. And it's the world's smartest assistant that you can't get anywhere else for this kind of 20 bucks, right? Top fears and frustrations. And now it starts giving me stuff. I feel powerless to help animals in need. I don't know if I trust where my donations are going. I'm tired of the same old boring coffees, soulless brands. I want to support small businesses that actually care. I want to make a difference, but life is so busy. Do you guys see what's happening right in front of your very eyes in seconds? This is what should be in my ads. Hey, if you want to support small businesses that care, hey, if you want to help make a difference, but you're so busy, hey, if you're tired of supporting, Folgers, a big giant coffee brand that's soulless, right? This is the stuff in the messaging that's going to attract not the spray and pray to the masses, but to your ideal customer. Tell me you guys are getting what I'm saying, and give me on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being this is really, really rocking my boat. I love it. Or 5, not so much. 1, it's not working for me at all. Like, let me know what you guys are seeing, right? Because this is really, really important stuff of what I'm talking about. Okay. And then when you really get good at what you're doing, I'm going to go and I'm going to show you something I created. Okay. So I created this yesterday. So with launch ads, we have a number of verticals, right? So what I want to do, and what I'm going to do, what I am doing is I'm creating avatars and customer avatars for each vertical. So realtors, for maybe dog walkers, maybe for HVAC clients. There are all these different verticals. So this is one of the first verticals I'm going after, and this is what I call the blue collar growth CEO. So this is blue collar CEOs that have a business between $500,000 and $10 million in revenue. And again, I'm going to read this off. So this is what I created with my research and my studies, that the demographics I'm going after are service-based business owners. So again, I'm specifying what I'm looking for. Their age is 38 to 50. They're doing between 500,000 and 10 million in revenue, right? What they have before meeting me and my tools is they have a website, a funnel, scattered ad accounts, no traffic system. They're burned by the past ad spend, okay? They feel frustrated, overwhelmed, and skeptical and lost and stuck on how to scale their business and how to take it to the next level or to run ads. After launch ads and our help, we have a 24-hour AI assistant running and optimizing ads, centralized dashboard, consistent lead flow. After they get my tool, they got a 10-minute check-in, look at their ads, check in, boom, get back to work. Their key purchase drivers are simplicity and speed, return on investment, clarity, creative assets that, hey, how am I going to get my creative assets created? Leveraging AI and peace of mind. Their frustrations, their fear is ad fatigue, rising costs, agency pricing, text complexity, and fear of plateauing or their business has plateaued and their fear of how to scale. And their wants or aspirations, I want quality leads on autopilot. I want automation. I want scaling without becoming a marketer or a growth. I don't want a whole bunch of build a big giant team. And the good versus evil is being stuck and outspent and discouraged. Okay. So these are things that now I can take this information and I continue to drill down on it and leverage it to create Let me see. Do I have? Let me see. Let me go to. So then I take my work that I do and I create some Google Docs. And let me see if I have it handy. Launch ads. Yeah, so then I take it, I keep drilling down and drilling down and drilling down. Okay, what are my key purchase drivers? Simplicity, intuitive, launch ads the same day, unified dashboard, multiple platforms, built-in Shutterstock access. Because again, their fears are, I don't know how to do creatives. How I'm an HVAC guy, I'm a lawn care guy. I don't know how to make creatives for ads. Okay, how do we answer that in our ads and our marketing? Shutterstock interface, right? And so I come through, what are the emotional drivers? Give you peace of mind. I'm going to hopes restored, freedom from ad overwhelm, elevated status and self-worth, frustration and fears. I've spent thousands with little to show for it. Ads are too complex to manage by myself. Other people are making this work. Why can't I? Right? I need traffic, but I can't afford $5,000 retainers. So now I'm taking this of some, because I'm going deeper than what launch ads will do currently. And then I'm putting this into launch ads, into my brand voice and into my campaigns. And now I'm getting better results from launch ads. And in some cases, I'm wiping out what launch ads is writing, and I'm putting in some stuff that I'm writing with my, I have some other AI tools that I pay a lot of money for that are they were learned on the biggest digital marketing libraries in the world. So it gets me difference and better results. And so again, this is the kind of work that most people cheat and don't do this because we're too busy. We don't know how to do this. But do you guys see how by taking just a little bit of time and leveraging what you can get from your knowledge and our little advertising assistants, how you can kind of dial in your headlines, dial in your messaging. And again, going back to Michael with his lead magnet a little bit ago, now I got the lead. What do my emails say? How do I build rapport, trust, and get him to convert to become a buyer? This is how. You must do the homework, create your client profile avatar, then ask it what colors speak to that avatar, what fonts speak to that avatar, and then you can start to dial in your stuff, and then you even get better results. So if this makes sense, let me know. Does anyone have any questions on what I said so far? So Diedrich says, oops, how did I do that? Diedrich says, do you give your AI an idea and let them run without it based on prompts? Well, I have AI that has prompting strings that we've created for ourselves, and I've had some that I've invested in bought. Sometimes I like that one right there. I just gave it I just told it, you know what I want to do. I want to create this Rescue Joe brand, and I want to do this, and I want to do that. Here's who I want to sell to. Help me out here. And then based on what it says, you go, no, I don't really like that, and you got that wrong. Fix this, and you just talk to it as if it's the most smartest person on your team, and watch what it does for you. It's amazing. If that helps. Yeah, and Martine says she has the paid version of ChatGPT, asking similar questions for her stuff and rewrite her stuff and do algorithm. It's exactly right. And again, if you don't have the money to invest in some of the right tools, you have to invest in learning how to write prompts, right? Act as a marketer, act as a search engine optimization expert, act as a professional copywriter, and write in the voice of Dan Kennedy or Frank Kern or Mr. Halpin. You have to learn how to write prompts to get the kind of information and feedback you want. So launch ads as a standalone, it'll do 10 times better than anybody can do right now. This is taking it to a whole nother level. Then this information helps you write the email sequences, tune up your landing pages, and fix stuff on your landing pages. They're going to speak to their fears and their frustrations. It's going to speak to what they want to accomplish, what they want to do. So if that makes sense to everybody, let me know if you guys have any questions. If you have any questions or comments. Okay, I don't see any questions or comments coming in. Yeah. So Paul says, I just saw today that Google has reached a general purpose problem solving AI agent. Can we use ChatGPT like a new marketing staff member? Absolutely. That's the whole point, is your team. Okay. So here's something else that I want you to think about. Okay, so that's part A, that ideal client avatar. Who is your avatar? Who is it? What are their fears and frustrations? And then what we want to do is we want to create some problem statements for your Goldilocks lead. And by the way, let me explain the Goldilocks lead. So here, what's a Goldilocks lead? Remember the who can tell me about the story about the three bears, right? One ate too much curd. I don't even remember the dang thing. It's been so long. One ate too much, not enough, something like that, right? So it's the same thing with the Goldilocks. Like some people are down here and they're not ready to buy, and they're never going to buy. Some people are too smart, like me. I'm a very advanced marketer, and a person that's below me, I'm not their target market. You're not going to sell to me, right? Oh yeah, too cold, too hot, and just right. That's okay. Thank you, Martine. You're awesome. My new assistant, Martine. We don't want to deal with the too hots. We don't want to deal with the too colds. We want to speak to the just right. Okay, so when you start to figure out their fears and frustrations, what do we do? In some regards, with most of us, our businesses, is we solve problems. Launch Ad solves a problem. Launch Cart solves a problem. Now, maybe in the coffee world, you're going, how do I solve a problem with coffee? Oh, I'm going back to those things. I'm a brand with a soul. I'm a brand that does good with my money, right? So you're kind of addressing it from that angle. But what we want to do is we want to brainstorm 15 what I call problem statements. 15 problem statements. And a problem statement, let me find some of my notes. A problem statement might be, let me find some, see here if I can. Okay. So problem statements, right? 15 problem statements. If you create 15 problem statements, oh, that's not it. Where'd it go? Okay, hold on. I'm finding. I found the document. Now I got to find the problem statements, because I'm the type of person I like to hear examples. Okay, here we go. I need a way to get steady leads without spending $3,000 a month on an agency. I wish I could run Facebook and Google ads without needing a marketing degree. I want to grow my business, but I don't have time to figure out all this ad tech. I need something that just works, not another tool that I have to babysit. Okay, so these are problem statements that, based on my avatar, that hopefully this is what they're thinking. Matter of fact, real quick, has anyone had those thoughts go through your mind? You're on this call? Because maybe you're on this call because you've had those thoughts. Like, I need a way to get steady leads without spending $3,000 a month on an agency, right? So Paul's saying yes, right? So this is what I'm talking about. So you have to come up with those problem statements that you have for your ideal avatar, right? So Martine said absolutely, Andrew's saying yes, okay. So let me read a couple more examples. I wish I could finally see results from my ad spend instead of guessing what's working. I want to compete with the big guys, but I don't have their budget or team. I need leads coming in daily, even if I'm only spending $10 to $20 a day. Or I could even change that. I go, I wish I could have leads coming in for $10 to $20 a day. I wish I could stop relying on freelancers who disappear or overcharge. How many people have hired a consultant, a coach, a mentor, an agency, or whatever, and you pay them money, and then then after, like, they're real attentive for the first week or 2 weeks or 30 days. And then after that, the tentativeness slips and slips and slips into where it's like, you don't even hardly hear from him anymore. It's like, he's not returning my calls on time. Yeah, I've experienced that many a time. I hate that more than anything. Okay, so you guys get the point. Those are those challenge statements that you're kind of coming up with, and then in their own words, I'm wearing too many hats, right? I'm great at my trade, but I suck at marketing. I know I need more leads, but I don't know where to start. Every time I try to run, I end up wasting money and nothing to show for it. I can't afford a full-time marketing person, and agencies are way too expensive. So you see, these words and these statements are speaking to my Goldilocks lead. That's the Goldilocks lead magnet, right? Because the minute these words fall in front of that person that's speaking those words in their own mind and their own brain, there's that pattern interrupt, and they're going, dude, this guy's like talking to me, right? This is what we want to accomplish. Right? This is the golden goose that lays the eggs. This is I increase my ROAS, right? So this is where we kind of come back and it's work. This is the stuff that now, again, with AI and these AI tools, it's easier than ever before. I used to do this, and it would take us weeks and weeks, and we'd call hundreds of clients. I literally, in 2004, I used to call. I'd get a new marketing customer, give me your customer list, and I would call customers. Hey, do you have a few minutes? I'd like to ask you a few questions. How are you feeling when you made the decision to buy? What were your reservations? Why did you do this? And how did the result? And I would ask questions and take notes. There was no AI note taker. It was all taking notes manually, and then like assembling all these notes, and then trying to figure all this stuff out, and then creating these statements and creating these tools and technology way back then before we had this. Now it's easy. Now you can record phone calls with clients. You can record stuff. You can transcribe. Give me a summary. What were their pain points? Blah blah blah, and you can dial it in. You can dial it in. Okay. So now. That's only the first part of it. Okay. So you guys tune in next week. I'm gonna call this I'm gonna end this call. But here's the cliffhanger. Next week, I'm gonna show you a strategy for those of you serious about building a real business and really making money. I'm gonna show you how we can take these challenge statements and this information. You do your homework this week, and next week I'm gonna show you. Part of me doesn't want to show anybody because I want to charge people $10,000 a month to do this. I'm going to show you guys how to figure out which one of these 15 statements is going to ring the cash register the best for you using launch ads. Now it's a testing methodology that only the wickedest smart people in the world do. Very few people do this. I've been around it and been taught this, and know people have done it for years. But like 1 out of 1,000 people do this. This is the kind of companies like Microsoft have like hundreds of people that do this from their marketing teams. And so I'm going to share with you next week how to do this, how to take these statements. Because again, if I said to you, which one is going to convert higher? I need to get steady leads without spending $3,000 a month. I wish I could run Facebook ads and Google ads without a marketing team. I need something that just works. I have 15 of these, right? Actually, I have 10. I'm telling you to do 15. And then we call it the atomic ad testing strategy. Okay. And I can tell you this one's going to pull better. I don't know that. You could tell me, oh, that one's going to pull better. You don't know that. You know who knows? Is our clients. That ideal customer out there knows. So I'm going to show you a methodology to put this in front of them, have them vote with their click. And their vote with the click is going to allow you to go, okay, I got these 10 or 15 or these 20, and now I got the top 3. Run the ads with that, ring the cash register. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's little more advanced session. And I'll open it up for Q&A if you guys got any questions or answers. So let me see. Thank you, Chris. So Chris says, you're giving us real gold. Dude, I'm telling you, I charge a lot of money to do this for people, coach people, this stuff. And if you're the kind of person, you got a business, you're going, Greg, I'd like to have you as my personal coach, to ping me. I'm going to make it affordable for 2 or 3 people because I need success stories. But like I do like $10,000 power day, I'll change your life. If you want to do a $10,000 power day, come out here to San Diego. I'll spend a whole day with you and I'll change your life. Like literally, we'll walk you through stuff and fine tune your stuff and fine tune your business and dial you in. That's $10,000 a day. But I'm also working on a 3-month. Well, I'll just tell you guys, it's a $3,000 a month for 3 months minimum, and $3,000 a month. I'm gonna dial you in. I'm gonna dial you in, get you dialed in. So if that's something you're interested in, you can email support@launchcart.com and let me know. Tisha's like, wow. Yeah, no, this goes back to, I'm 63. I started online in 1997. So I'm one of the old goats. I've been around a long time. And before that, I'm a marketing guy and I raised money for companies and I took companies public and I did stuff. And so I understand marketing and I love this stuff. And this is the real question about, making money and not making money. Poet with a Point.com says, are these sessions available as replays? So this particular, yes, they are. All of these trainings are live streamed to LaunchCart's YouTube channel. Now we had one live stream with Kevin, and then we didn't quit the live stream and start a new live stream. So it's just one live stream. And then I'm doing this recordings, and I'll take this recording, I'm going to snip it up and start making some content out of it and dropping it everywhere and doing that kind of stuff. But we're going to blow things up. And I promise you guys that you're as far as getting somebody who cares about you, who's the real deal and wants to help you succeed, we're here. That's what we want. Your success. And again, I can't do the work for you, but I can tell you what to do. And again, if you're that type of person too, that's got the shiny object syndrome and you're, buying 10 or 50 different products, pick a coach, pick a mentor that you like, you trust, you resonate with, and go deep. Concentrate and dominate. Concentrate and dominate. Okay. And Yvonne, my wonderful, amazing customer support manager. She manages all of our support. She's amazing. She just posted the YouTube live stream and that's over there. Okay, last call for questions. Anybody else? And Diedrich, the previous trainings are on the YouTube channel too. Yep. Martine, that's awesome. She's like, I'm an old goatess. That's good. They've been around a long time too. Showing off our age. Okay, cool. All right. Great session. We're going to continue to do this as much as possible. I'm doing a lot of webinars. I'm going to be selling like crazy. We're going to be talking about Google My Business. We're going to be talking about chat widgets. We're going to be talking about be more attractive, be more visible, be easy to do business with. We're going to be talking about automations, email marketing automations. Like this is going to be the summer of prosperity for 2025. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. I'm praying for you and all my customers that you guys would have the insights, the discernment, and the wisdom to be successful. And you guys, if you don't know, if you're new, like I think this is Martine's first call. I'm a man of faith and I pray for my customers. I pray for my business. I'm praying for you guys, and I would appreciate the prayers back because life is crazy. like this world we live in, man, it's crazy, so crazy. So appreciate you. And I'm going to be working on affiliate programs and getting more people to become affiliate programs with us and doing all this kind of stuff. So I'm probably like you in this respect. I'm the guy at the buffet bar. I want to do a million things at once. I can't do a million things at once. So I try to focus on what's going to move the needle and what's going to move the needle the most. And so I work on those too. So thank you, everybody. Do what I do. Wake up every day with an attitude of gratitude. Tell somebody you love them and you'll have a better day. Signing off, everybody.